Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is just going to be a little book haul of the Book of the Month books that I picked for the month of August. This is not a sponsored video, I just really love Book of the Month and want to show you all the books that I picked out as a little book haul. The original plan for this video was to actually do an unboxing of my August picks, but I got really impatient the day that my boxes came and couldn't wait to open them, but didn't have time to film a video of me unboxing them. So this is just a book haul, not a book unboxing slash book haul, if that made any sense whatsoever. But anyway, let's get into it and talk about the 6 books that I got this month. If you have seen some of my previous videos, you probably know how much of a sucker I am for the thriller genre, so I do usually end up getting a thriller or 2 in my Book of the Month boxes, and this month I got 2. The first thriller that I got is Not a Happy Family. This is a domestic thriller about this very wealthy family whose parents end up dead. And the siblings all suspect each other. Everybody has their secrets. Nobody knows what's going on. And everyone just assumes that one of the siblings is guilty of the murder. And they have to uncover the truth. I really love domestic thrillers, and I'm a sucker for this cover. I just think it's so pretty, especially with the house and the people in the windows. So I cannot wait to read this one. I have been starting to see this one around on Instagram more, and I've heard some really good things about it. I love a good thriller and I love domestic thrillers, so I have high hopes for this one. I'm supposed to be reading it this week, but I don't think it's gonna actually happen. But it's fine. We'll get to it eventually. I do plan to bring this one back to school with me and hopefully read it at the end of August or in September once I start school. The second thriller that I got in my Book of the Month boxes is We Were Never Here. I am absolutely in love with the colors on this cover. I just cannot get over how beautiful it is, and I'm really excited to read this one. I don't know a lot about it, but I do know that it involves frenemies on a backpacking trip and somebody ends up dead, and there's unreliable narrators, and unreliable narrators and thrillers are basically my favorite thing ever. So I am really excited to read this one. I am also going to bring it back to school with me, I think. I'm still trying to finalize what books I do want to bring to college with me this year, but I do plan to bring a lot of thrillers, and this one is high up on my list. So hopefully it ends up making it into one of the boxes that I'll be moving to college. Every month when the new Book of the Month picks roll around, I do generally try to pick 1 or 2 that are kind of out of my comfort zone. I read a little bit of all the genres, but I definitely tend to gravitate toward thrillers and romance and horror and all that fun stuff. So this month I also picked a contemporary fiction book and a historical fiction book. The contemporary book that I picked for this month was Once There Were Wolves. This is a new release. I have started to see it around on social media a bit more, and I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit of a tearjerker. This is a psychological contemporary fiction book about a woman's journey through Scotland, and something really tragic happens to her. There's a little bit of mystery involved, there's a little bit of forbidden love involved, and it just sounds like a lot of really great elements all kind of mixed together. I love a good psychological story, I love a good mystery, love some romance, and I am really looking forward to picking this one up eventually. Not sure when I'm going to get to it, but this book is not very thick, so that's encouraging because I do tend to gravitate toward books on the shorter side. So this was the 3rd book that I got in my Book of the Month box. The historical fiction book that I got this month is actually a book by an author that I have read before. I've only read one of her books, but I remember really liking it. I know I cried when I read it. I remember reading it during Thanksgiving break in the fall of 2019. It was the first book that I'd picked up since starting college, and it made me realize how much I missed reading, and that book was The Great Alone by Kristin Hannah. So I decided to get another Kristin Hannah book since I've heard such wonderful things about this author, and I really wanted to read more of her books since I loved The Great Alone. So I picked up The Nightingale. This is a World War II historical fiction story about these 2 sisters who are estranged. Their paths have taken them in different directions, and I don't think they have a relationship anymore. They are both living in the middle of World War II, and it's just a really dangerous and scary time. And I've heard this one is also heartbreaking, but I've heard that most of Kristin Hannah's books are heartbreaking, So I'm ready for the tears to come. I truly cannot wait to get to this one because I have been thinking about The Great Alone a lot recently, and so I really just felt this itch to grab another of Kristen Hanna's books when the Book of the Month picks came out this month. This book has been out for a few years, I'm pretty sure, but I'm still seeing it around a lot, and I've just heard such phenomenal things about it. So I cannot wait to get to this one, hopefully before the end of the year, but I don't want to say that and then it not happen. But this one is definitely higher up on my list of bookish priorities because I really just want to feel the heartbreak that often comes with Kristen Hanna's books. I also got a young adult pick this month, and that was Hello Girls. I have never seen this book. I had never heard of it before, but sometimes I just scroll through the Book of the Month app when I'm bored, and I saw this one. So I decided to pick it up. It has such a beautiful cover, and I mean, I say that about all the books that I pick up, to be honest. You always hear that about the books that I talk about in my videos. But the cover really captivated me and drew me in, so I clicked on the book and read the little one-sentence synopsis that Book of the Month often provides. And I saw that this book was about revenge, and that's all I needed to read before I knew that I really wanted to read this book. So I grabbed it, and I can't wait to read it. The last book that I got in my Book of the Month boxes for the month of August was The Secret History. I have seen this book around Instagram for forever, and finally took the plunge and got it. The first thing that I noticed is that this book is quite big, and it's kind of heavy, and that scares me. But I have just heard such good things about this one, and it's been on my TBR for forever, so I took the plunge and got it. The Secret History is a murder mystery about a group of students at a very elite, very small college, and I believe they are under the following of this one professor, and whatever they do in this group and whatever happens leads them down a very dark and evil path. And when I saw the word evil, I was like, obviously, I need this one. I've heard some mixed things about it in recent times, however, so I'm a little nervous to read it because I don't want to put it up on this pedestal and then read it and then just be disappointed. But just from reading the little synopsis on Book of the Month, it just really sounds like something that I'd be into. So I'm still gonna read it, hopefully soon. I don't know, it's thick. We'll see when it happens. But I think it sounds really good, so I have high hopes for it, but that doesn't mean that I'm not nervous to read it still. So this was the last book that I got in my Book of the Month box for August. I am really happy with the books that I picked out for this month. I have a wide variety of different genres, and I am excited to read all of these for different reasons. Sometimes I procrastinate reading my Book of the Month books for no reason. I'm just really bad at reading them sometimes, but I do have plans to get to some of these very soon, and I cannot wait. If you've gotten any new books recently, feel free to comment down below and let me know. I love adding new books to my TBR, and that is all I have for y'all today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in another video.